Hey guys, so I think you know what time it is. It is time for the latest episode of Batchackman. This one is, I believe, episode 6, if I'm keeping count correctly, titled Mi Familia. And it takes up right where we left off, where the last one, Batchackman and Amina, was getting ready to square off into a fight. We were also dealing with the repercussions of his girlfriend Michelle taking what we saw. Well, we saw her take the super serum and inject herself with it. So I was waiting to see what was going to come of all of that. Were we going to get an epic battle? Were we going to see her have superpowers? It was a stay tuned kind of thing with the last episode, bringing us into this one. And I got some of what I wanted, a very little, very small portion of what I wanted. So let's break it down and I'll tell you what worked for me and what didn't. And I'll start by the opening. We open again with Batchackman's girlfriend, Michelle, and she's dancing around her apartment. She's having a good time by herself, eating popcorn, watching movies, being very jumpy for an action movie, which I don't understand why. I guess if you're going to do that, why not put on a horror movie? But okay, whatever, to each his own. And it's we spent a lot of time with her in the opening, and yet we didn't really get anything from it. There is a flashback sequence, so to speak. So what it seems like they want to do is give us her origin story, her background. I guess what motivates her, what made her want to become the reporter that she is, or that sort of thing. Why would she want to inject herself with an untested serum? I get what they were going for, I really do, but it felt a bit clumsy in the execution, because we don't really see her having any after effects of what happened to her. I would think, like Spider-Man, if you think back to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, there's that scene where he first gets bitten and he's all sweaty and feverish and having these kind of nightmares, so to speak. And that gives us, the audience, a visual representation of what he's going through, what his body is going through. And of course, we see the results the next day. He's all abbed up and he's looking all fit. He doesn't need his glasses. All those kind of things is happening. So if they did a little bit of that here, it would make more sense to me. So I get, she's all, super confident and she's having a good time and she's dancing, but none of that really applies to injecting yourself with that serum. That could just be her personality. That could just be who she is. So I was left a little bit flabbergasted by why would that be your choice to, explore this character. But then we go to the scene that what I was waiting for, what I think everybody was waiting for, is to see Batchackman and Amina battle it out. And for the most part, the fight sequence works. This is one thing, like I said before, guys, I really do like the way the fights are choreographed here. The problem I had was that the entire fight sequence, I felt like we should have gotten one continuous take of that fight sequence. It should have been tension and attention grabbing and just action. And these are two people that really can handle the physical demands of these fight scenes quite well. We've seen it in the past. I thought the sound effects were solid. It did sound, every hit really sounded like it was connecting. It looked like they were really feeling it, but it was cut up so much that every time I got into it, it would pull away to another scene. And it's like, oh God, it's like, you're watching, imagine if they did that in, like, when you went to see the Avengers, the battle in New York, that every time things got really good, they cut to a quiet moment, maybe somebody having a conversation. That would have annoyed the hell out of you. And I didn't find it annoying. I just wish they went about it a different way. It sucked the energy out of the scene when that happened. I would get super pumped for it, and then the scene would last maybe like a minute, if so long, and then cut to something else. And that something else would again be back to the character of Michelle. And like I said, I think they want to show us her origin story. We do get to see the reason for the name of the episode being Mi Familia is she grew up in Cuba with her mother and her father, and we do see where possibly her father may have been involved in something illicit. A hit apparently was put on the family, and we see her hide herself in the bathroom. I have to nitpick a bit with that, where she locks herself in the bathroom, but the key to the door is in the door on the other side of the bathroom. I was like, why? Why would you do that, But anyway, yeah, we see where she's afraid. We see where, she's terrified in the moment. And I have to give props. I think the actress, I think she handled that well. She does, I do believe she's younger in that scene, even though obviously she's not. I feel like she played that really well, that kind of scared, innocent, younger character, as opposed to who she is now, more confident woman. I did feel that. That did come across to me, and I like that. The Spanish, I mean, it's not the best in some places, but the pronunciation, I should say, it's not the best in some places, but it works well in others. So, I give them props for going for that authentic, language, I should say, or that authentic moment where they are speaking the language of the country. So kudos on that. And then we come back to her, and she's taking the serum to someone who would give her a little bit more background on what it is and what's been happening with it. It does give us a bit more information, and I do feel like this episode does that as well, because all of the episodes, they kind of give you pieces of what's happening. We have a general idea here of what's happening. We know we have the evil Diane West, who is training these super soldier types. She is injecting them with these serums like Amina, forcing these young women to become these warriors, because she doesn't feel Batchackman could handle what is to come. And we know Batchackman is also learning more about himself, his abilities, and that sort of thing. So we know there's like a big battle. There's two sides, and you have one side who has no faith that the other one could do it, and you have another side who's trying to stop this evil thing from happening, but also dealing with all these people coming for him. And that takes me to our scene where we have Michelle once again. This time she is she goes up against one of my favorite characters in this entire run so far. I like to call him Mr. Smiley. It's actually Mr. Maharaj, I believe he goes by. I think this guy, he's having so much fun with this role. He's really one of the more charismatic players here. And we have a scene where he comes after her to get the serum. Now, this is where, again, I don't understand what they were going for with this scene, because I thought what we were going to get is a reveal of her abilities, of Michelle's abilities, if she has any, It was a perfect moment because it mirrored what happened to her back in Cuba. But she's saved by someone else. She's still scared. She does fight back. She does, for a minute. And I thought we were going to get something cool, like maybe she threw him across the room or something. We don't get any of that, really. So I'm left wondering, what was the point of this scene, if not to use that to show a kind of character arc or a reveal of some sort, that she's now superpowered like her boyfriend. I just don't get it. I don't get why wait? Why not have it in that moment? And we go back again to Amina versus Batchackman, and we see where the division that was revealed in the last episode, we see where it comes true, where Amina kills Batchackman. He does die. She's walking away victorious, and she's faced by, I think it's Mama Delau, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, who attacks her, I should say, with magic. Now, again, okay, so they do address it. Amina is not supposed to be able to be taken down by magic. That was the whole point of the serum, what the training that Diana gave them. She's not supposed to be affected by magic. But they do say in this that her body is impervious to magic, but her mind isn't. I don't know. I'm struggling a bit with that because I feel like if you're impervious to magic, you're impervious to magic, you know. I don't quite get it, but okay, I'll allow for it. And she's shown these visions of her I guess her past, where she's talking about Batchackman and how she's gonna destroy him, and it's an odd vision. I'm not quite sure what they were going for overall with that particular vision. You know, why not torture her with the death of her sisters or something else? This one was a bit messy overall, guys. You know, because we do know that, I think I know what they're going for. I think, you know, we do get that they're trying to build up these characters. They're trying to develop the entire world. What am I saying? They're trying to do some world building here, some character building here, but it's at the expense of the main character, Batchackman. You know, we came to see him do his thing, and I feel like we're not getting enough of that. The focus is not on him enough, you know. Early on, I think they had a better balance where we would get to see him interact with more with these characters like OH and that sort of thing. Now I feel like the other characters are dominating this series, and I don't understand why it would go in that direction, because it's supposed to be about him. He's the hero, you know. They are supposed to be the supporting characters. So this episode for me, guys, it wasn't a favorite. I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the last episode. I feel like there's a lot of, in this case it wasn't so much filler, but there's a lot of, you know, going off course, so to speak, you know, working on maybe the problem is that there's too many side characters and side plots, and we're not focusing enough on the main story. You know, this is what happened here, and it does feel a bit messy, but I still want to see where it's going. I'm really looking forward to, I'm hoping for something epic, something big to end this entire thing on. All the big bads reveal themselves. We get a flash of OH because Batchackman, surprise surprise, resurrects, you know. I don't know exactly how. Like I said, we're still learning about his abilities. I believe it has something to do with the OH and the eye, that jewel that he found, you know. Maybe it has more abilities, and that also gives me hope that the OH is still somehow alive, because again, I have my favorite characters here, guys. I really liked Mr. Smiley. May he rest in peace. I think he's dead. I really liked Diane West. I love the OH. I feel like these are some really original type characters, you know, or even if we've seen versions of them before, I love this local twist we're getting on these characters. I feel like the actors are doing a wonderful job of bringing them to life and making them interesting and intriguing. So I'm hoping to see him come back. You know, he is one of my favorites, and I'm hoping to see him rise from the grave, so to speak. If I have to rate this episode, guys, for me this was like a 5 out of 10. You know, it didn't really give me as much as I was hoping for. I was really hoping that fight scene would have been epic, a little bit more on that, maybe. Or maybe if they just took all those scenes that were in there between Amina and Batchackman and just give us like one continuous scene of them fighting, that may have worked better. You know, I think it would have played better. As it is, I don't know what they're gonna be doing with the character of his girlfriend. Is she gonna get powers? Maybe the serum doesn't affect certain people. Maybe it affects her differently. Maybe it's not a physical strength but a mental strength, you know. So we'll have to wait and see where they go with it. But yeah, overall this one, Mi Familia, gets a 5 out of 10 from me, and I'm still excited for what's to come. So that's going to be it for this one, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you've seen this episode, let me know your thoughts, how did it play out for you, and which episodes have been your favorite so far. If you like this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It's always appreciated. If you're new and you'd like to subscribe to my channel, first of all, thank you very much. And second, you can click on my face right over there. And for past reviews of Batchackman and a bunch of other stuff, feel free to check that out right along that way. So until the next one, guys. Bye-bye.